Canon releases a new mirrorless camera that can shoot 8K. I call BS. There's no way. There's no way. They're barely being able to do 4K in their like mid to pro range, except for their like top high end. But basically, it all starts with Canon rumors here. Basically, this is the spec sheet, and they're saying that it's any specification in bold I consider CR3, and I think CR3 was like, what did they say CR3 was? Like it's almost for sure certain. So what it's saying is it's going to be a new one. A new camera is like the Canon EOS R5, so it seems to be kind of how the Canon EOS R is kind of the sidestepping mirrorless equivalent of like the 5D Mark IV. This is supposed to be taking it a step further, so it's almost like the 5D5, but it's the EOS R5. 45 megapixel full frame CMOS sensor. I can believe that. IBIS, that'd be great. I can believe that. It's saying 5 stops of IBIS just in the camera. They've used the a lens with OIS. It's 7 to 8 stops. 12 FPS mechanical, 20 FPS electronic. I can believe that. Dual card slots, great. We're needing that. Scroll wheel added to the back. No touch bar. No one really liked the touch bar for the EOS R. I got all this. Larger capacity battery, but it looks like the LPE6. This says 8K at 30 frames per second. I can't. No, there's no way they're doing. The sensor is technically big enough, but I mean the EOS R was doing it like a 1.8 crop. Like if they can get 4K, because it says also 4K 120 frames per second, which I don't believe either. Like I can see if they can do full frame 4K 24p and 30p full frame IBIS, that would be great. If they can get it up to 60p 4K, that'd be cool too. But this 120p frames per second 4K, I don't believe it. The 8K, there's no way. Then they throw 4K 60p, obviously. Built-in 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, new battery, but it's compatible. They're saying the announcement ahead of CP next month, and they're launching in July 2020, which may be the ship date. And we'll go over some stuff here because they just released the Canon somewhat recently, the C500 Mark II, which it is a cinema camera, but it's selling for like $16,000, and it only does 5.9K, although that's raw, but it does, where are we at? But it does, where are you at here? It does the 5.K9 raw. Come on now. Here we go. So it does that raw 10-bit and 12-bit, but it's doing the 4K like 10-bit. Then even the newer 1DX Mark III, where are we at? Like they just released it, or it's getting ready to be released, and it does what, 5.5K raw. But people also kind of forget too that the 1DX Mark II came out in April 2016, but it was able to do 4K 60. It's like a 1.2 crop. So they have, at the very top flag line cameras, they have the capabilities to do it. But the 5D are a pro camera, but they're not like the top flagship ones like these are. Because this is like almost 4 years old and it's still 55 new. And this is this is going to be 6,500 new when it comes out. It's going to be expensive. So even, because I believe the 5D Mark IV, when it came out, it was around what, $3,500, $4,000. So I mean, if it came out with even most of the stuff, but not all of it, it'd still be between, I would imagine, if it came out with this, it would be a $5,000 camera, $4,500, something like that. But I don't think I just can't imagine it having, I mean, they just recently got, because the 90D and the M6 Mark II have 1.6 crop. 4K, which is not as tight of a crop as it is on the EOS R. Although that does have, you can like export it and get like a 10-bit 422 signal out of it. So I don't know. It just, I don't believe it. I think it'll be better. I think we'll have the 45, the IBIS, the shot count, the dual card slots is a big thing. That's the reason I haven't bought the EOS R, because I want to like step, because I'm using the ADD right now, and I want to step up to kind of a more pro dual card slot camera. So I'll wait and see what is going on. But they go into this. It's saying after 24 hours of back and forth, unconfirmed leaks, Canon rumors is reporting with high confidence that Canon is working on a camera called the EOS R5, 45 megapixel sensor, in-body image stabilization, up to 20 frames per second electronic bursts, and an insane 8K 30p video mode. They're saying it's been a confusing week if you kept up with the Canon rumor mill. The initial set of the specs was widely discussed, even mocked, which I still don't believe it. But it's saying after 24 hours, Canon rumor seems to have received some sort of confirmation that much of the information is, in their words, bang on. According to their most recent report, the camera is almost definitely called the EOS R5. It uses a 45 megapixel full frame sensor, IBIS, 12 frames per second, 20 frames per second electronic. Similar 5D Mark IV battery. It says 4K 120. It may even be able to shoot 8K 30. I mean, even if they had, I could maybe sort of believe, given the price point, that maybe they could possibly pull off maybe like a 6K 2430. But them doing 8K, it just seems insane. If these specs are accurate, this will be a powerhouse camera. Then we'll have to wait and see what kind of stipulations, crazy sounding specs like 8K 30 video would need to come with. Then if it does use the dual card slots, it'd probably be the new ones, the CF Express cards, which are in the 1DX Mark III. Because I believe those are able to record the 5.5K RAW, but it uses like a massive amount of data. It's saying, according to Canon rumors, this camera will be launched in July 2020 with an announcement much sooner. So you get into this too, and even this came out, I think it was like 2 days ago. Then they released one like 8 hours ago, where they get into Canon released their kind of financial results presentation, and it basically gets into that they're expecting that the interchangeable lens camera market will still shrink to a similar degree as it did in 2019, but they're still wanting to still kind of concentrate on that market for more of the, we'll see here. It says in 2020, although we expect market contraction to continue at a similar rate, 50%, and the market size to be around 7.5 million units, we also see stable demand for professional and advanced amateur models. In order to maintain profitability, it's important for us to secure market share and improve our product mix further. If they get even like 75% of what is predicted on that, you need full frame 4K, IBIS, dual card slots. I think that would win it. Obviously, still the flip screen, because the new RF glass coming out, although it is expensive, but it is a new system. From what I've seen, it seems to be pretty spectacular glass. But then again, it is expensive. But with the 1DX Mark III, it's still using EF glass. The C500 Mark II is still using EF glass. But I think there is a new red camera being designed that will take advantage of the new RF glass. So it just depends how invested you are in like current EF glass, and how willing you're wanting to like upgrade to the RF. If it's something that's like financially feasible for you. By improve our product mix, Mr. Tanaka is talking specifically about releasing more mirrorless EOS R cameras and further expanding Canon's lineup of RF mount lenses. Although we have launched 2 full-frame mirrorless cameras as well as 10 dedicated lenses, our lineup is still insufficient. In order to recover from our late entry into the mirrorless camera market, we have plans to launch a model that incorporates a newly developed image sensor and image processing engine that offers even more advanced features. At the same time, we will expand our lineup of dedicated lenses, launching several innovative ones, and take advantage of the new mount that allows greater flexibility when designing lenses. We will accelerate sales by responding to user needs to capture various images, expanding options by combining camera bodies and lenses. So like I was saying, if it covers that, it's going to be an extremely expensive camera. But even if you have, I was going to cover this in a separate video, but I'll do it in this one. Even if you have the EOS R now and you have EF lenses, Metabones came out with a speed booster, and from what I saw, you can get essentially like the full frame 4K look out of it with EF glass, and it's around $479 here. So I don't obviously I could be wrong, but I don't believe there's going to be I can't see any way that there's going to be 8K out of it. They need to make sure they have the good full frame 4K, maybe at 60. I think if you did that with the IBIS dual card slots, it'll be good. I don't know. Tell me what you think below. It's just crazy. Like, if it comes with even that would be something I'd want to purchase when I get the money, because I'm trying to upgrade my camera equipment to be, I know you don't have to have all this stuff to do paid work. I've done paid work with my ADD, but the idea of shooting a wedding with a single card slot's a little, I mean, there's the availability of dual card slot cameras now. And I don't want to necessarily switch to Sony if I don't have to, because I played around with Sony some. I'd still, whether it's the usability, the ergonomics, I still kind of like Canon. I mean, Canon doesn't really overheat like Sony's have, and little boxy cameras. Not if you're like carrying it around all day. I'd like the big, the bigger grip. But yeah, tell me what you think. I'll try to keep up with this and try to save some money for this too, because I don't know. I think it could be really good, basically. So if you like this, give me a like. If you really liked it, you can subscribe. If you didn't like it, you can thumb it down. You can tell me why in the comments. But yeah, all right. Have a good day. Hopefully, like I said, if we can get like 75% of what they're saying, it would be great. But yeah, all right. Peace.